The Sorrows of Love by the School of Life. Number 1. Introduction. We expect love to be the source of our greatest joys, but in practice it is one of the most reliable routes to misery. Few forms of suffering are ever as intense as those we experience in relationships. Viewed from outside, love could be mistaken for a practice focused almost entirely on the generation of despair. We should try to understand our sorrows. Understanding does not magically remove problems, but it sets them in context, reduces our sense of isolation and persecution, and helps us to accept that certain griefs are highly normal. The purpose of this essay is to help us develop an emotional skill that we can term romantic realism. This can be defined as a correct awareness of what can legitimately be expected of love and the reasons why we will, for large stretches of our lives, be disappointed by it for no especially sinister or personal reasons. The problems begin because, despite all the statistics, we are inveterate optimists about how love should go. No amount of information seems able to shake us from our faith in love. 1,000 divorces pass our doors, none seem relevant to us. We see relationship difficulties unfold around us all the time, yet we still retain a remarkable capacity to discount negative information. Despite the evidence of failures and loneliness, we cling to some highly ambitious ideas of what relationships should be like, even if we have never seen such unions in real life. The ideal relationship is the equivalent of the snow leopard. Our loyalty to it as a realistic possibility cannot be based on the evidence of our own experience. Instead, it derives from a range of reckless ideas circulating in our societies about what sharing a life with another person might be like. The problem starts with the wedding. In a wiser world than our own, our marriage vows would set the tone from the outset. A wedding day signals a commitment by two deeply imperfect people to endure a range of arduous difficulties until the end. It is a vow to be pretty unhappy together for much of the time without blaming one another unfairly. The family and friends gathered will be aware of their own relationship sufferings, will admire the couple's courage and wish them luck, while worrying and knowing that a rocky and in many ways devastating experience lies ahead of the couple. How happy we are depends to a large extent on whether we judge certain problems to be normal or not. Because our societies have failed to normalize and speak honestly about a great many issues in love, it is easy to believe ourselves uniquely cursed. We not only feel unhappy, we feel unhappy that we are unhappy. When difficulties strike, we start to feel that we are going out with a particularly cretinous human. The sadness must be someone's fault. Naturally enough, we conclude that the blame lies with our partner. We avoid the far truer and gentler conclusion that we're trying to do something very difficult, at which almost no one succeeds completely. At an extreme, we exit the relationship too early, rather than adjust our ideas of what relationships are generally like. We shift our hopes to new people who won't share the irritating problems we experienced with the last partner. We blame our lover in order not to blame love itself, the truer, more elusive target. We would be wiser to follow romantic realism in trusting that love will prove challenging for us, not for accidental or unique reasons, but for structural and intractable ones. Paradoxically, romantic realism is not the enemy of love. It is one of the attitudes that best contributes to the flourishing and survival of relationships in the long term. Once we understand the true nature of love, sorrows will move from being symptoms of a personal curse to simply being facts of life. Realizing this will already bring significant and consoling progress, which this book hopes to hasten and develop.